So it's Sunday night, March 29th. Anybody else realize that sometimes you forget what day it is now? Because the days and the nights kind of roll together. And we're always not quite sure what we're doing the next day. Are we going to work? Are we not going to work? Well, like many of us, I'm going to work tomorrow, but I'm not leaving this room. I might dress even. I was just invited to a 8:30 cocktail hour with some friends, and I was like, do I have to get dressed? Sweatshirts have become the norm for the time. It gets a little chilly in the house. Have the heat turned off, but definitely different times. As I sit here at my desk with my disinfectant wipes, always by my side. Did a lot of work this weekend around the house, which actually worked out well. Rebuilt my bathroom downstairs, and I am not, and you'll excuse the joke, I am not a Jewish carpenter. And I once, back in my groundwater environmental services days, GES put a toolbox on the back of my truck, and everybody laughed at me. And they said, the last thing we want, Brilliant, is you around tools. So I do enough to get by. I'm actually thankful, and his kids will probably laugh if they watch this, but I spent my childhood following my Uncle Jerry, who, you know, at 86 years old, still cranking away in a assisted living center, but still everything up here, and will give his still corny jokes and still talk to you and give you a hard time. But I followed him around as a kid. He was my surrogate dad. And so we did phone installations in my house. We did electronics. I learned that when you work in the basement and you work on even phone lines, you should wear shoes because you will get jolted. And I did. And it wasn't fun. We worked on the roof, and that's why I don't like heights anymore. There were pictures of me on the roof, and I was not happy, and I will not even climb a ladder these days. So with that, I did some work around the house this weekend, which was good because it kind of took my mind off of things that were happening, and had a good conversation tonight with my friend Jeff Kornblum, who about a year ago this time bought a business, and so he is a small business owner like me, and we are reading and watching and seeing all this stimulus packages, getting emails from every organization, from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce to local CIANJ and New Jersey Business Association, Greater Toms River Chamber of Commerce. Everybody's emailing you with all the information. But then what do you do? And so this afternoon I actually reached out to Tom Lilly, who's a small business banker and happens to be a college roommate of mine, and said, we need to talk because I need to figure all of this out, and I need to figure it out quick. We have work, we are doing business, we are doing well. Clients are paying very slow. Clients tend to pay slow. They are even slower. And Karen is making phone calls, and dribs and drabs money is coming in. But we need more money to come in, and we need to keep busy, and we need to keep the work flowing while we work from home. And it's not easy. This is a challenging time for every business owner, for everybody in this country. Let it be health concerns, let it be, I mean, I gotta tell you, the psychological damage or concerns that I have on just everybody. You know, I talked to Andrea, who is my oldest daughter today, and she was sitting home reading books that she had read previously. She lives in Charleston, South Carolina. Her restaurant that her and her boyfriend work in is closed, and they are doing nothing. And so we talked a little about stimulus package, about how she could get some assistance on rent, and she's not sure what she's going to do. And guess what? The 9th is her birthday, so she'll celebrate her birthday. I got to see if we can get the fire trucks and police cars to drive down the road in Charleston to make her feel happy. Again, not an easy thing to deal with for everybody. Jessica, my middle daughter, with Sammy, and he'll be 3 in July, and Shaq. I mean, Shaq runs Manhattan Bagels here in Toms River, and talking to him last week, the struggle of how many bagels to make, how many people are coming in, what can we do, how do we get business, how do we maybe trim staff. I mean, there's a lot of different things that You know, I went to school for environmental science. I didn't go to school for business. I've since learned a lot over the past 30 years, but, you know, I've learned on the job training. And now this week, in the past 2 weeks, we are learning things that we have never thought we would imagine. I made it through Sandy, Hurricane Sandy. I remember walking into Chase Bank on Main Street in downtown Toms River and wiring money into every one of my staff's account because I had no power at the office. I couldn't run payroll the normal way. You couldn't get through to payroll providers because half of them didn't have phones, or if they did, you know, they were like, well, what's your access number? I was like, I don't know. It's locked in my computer and I can't get in my computer. How much things have changed in 8 years for me to be able to have every one of my staff work remotely, for our phones to be remote access, our computers. It's amazing. If this would have happened 8 years ago with Hurricane Sandy, wouldn't have mattered because none of us had power. So, but we would have come back quicker maybe. But the difference is we knew psychologically the power would come back on. We knew we would be able to go get gas at the gas stations because deliveries would come. We knew things would get better fast because we wanted it to get better fast, and we had control. We have no control. What do we have control of? Hand sanitizers, disinfected wipes, and sitting alone in your house. That's what we have control over. And hopefully everybody is doing that, because the faster we control our future, the faster we can get back to normal. I know last week President Trump was saying we are going to start the economy up on April 13th or 12th. I heard tonight he said April 30th. So when the man who believes he has to tell you everything that's on his mind says April 30th, that scares me, because April 30th could be 2 to 3 weeks too short. But who knows? We don't know. So what do? If we are a small business owner, we keep working our clients, we talk to our clients, we talk to our staff, we make sure they're fully engaged. And if you read real quick some of the stimulus packages, you do not lay off a staff member, because these packages, especially the one that has the payroll protection one, don't lay off staff members. You have to, that is to allow you to be able to pay your staff. So they want you to keep your staff. And it retroactive back to, I think, January 31st, I think, is when it's retroactive back to. I got a lot more reading to do. I am no way an expert on this, but I think we're all going to come up to speed. I know we need to deal with small business banks, hoping that Tom can help me, hoping he can help others. You know, again, if he can help me, I will definitely tell you, you should reach out to him. You should reach out to him anyway. Tom's a good guy. So it was funny, Debbie texted me tonight and said she was watching 2020, and I forgot the person's name already. Brené Brown, I think is her name, that Debbie loves. Yeah, Brené Brown. And I've watched a couple of her TED Talks, and Debbie's provided me one. And she has one on vulnerability. And, this podcast I'm trying to do is about business. It's about, really trying to find different ways for me to promote my business and have people know if they need environmental services. They have underground storage tank leaks. They have soil and groundwater contamination. They want to buy a property. We can do the environmental assessment. They want to come to us. But I'm still a strong believer that you come to us because you know the people. And if it's Brilliant Environmental Services, who better to know than Mr. Brilliant? And that's me. And so when it comes to vulnerability, I think I've been somewhat vulnerable on some of these presentations. I've told you a little about myself. But the one thing I haven't told you, which I was building up to, but I guess this is the best time to do it, is, Brilliant Lewis became Brilliant Environmental when my partner left in 2010, and I restarted. In 2016, I was out marketing. I was having a good time. I was doing a radio talk show where Jeremy Grunin, Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. And when he wasn't there, I did the show. I had a great time. I enjoyed it. I was out and about. I was, probably not being myself as much as I normally did. I'm a very vocal, very public person. It was a little over the top. Sarah went off to college in August. I met Debbie in August. Things. But what I wasn't doing is I wasn't watching my business. And as a small business owner, you need to watch your business. I thought my business was good. I thought it was watching itself. It wasn't. It came to implode the end of 2016, early 2017, because a major client changed a contract and the project manager didn't pay attention to it. I was down probably, I think, in the neighborhood of about $240,000 to $300,000 by the time I reached the end of 2017. And I changed Brilliant Environmental Services. I cut staff. I lost a major contract with Luke Oil that was one of my bigger clients at the time. And I had to refocus. I had to refocus on my life. I had to refocus on my business. I kept the best of the best people around me, which I definitely have today. And we've worked very hard to get back to where we are. But we couldn't do it with the debt structure that we had. I had to figure a way to reorganize. And so on May 13th of 2019, I filed for Chapter 11 reorganization bankruptcy. Not proud of it. I had loans and had debt to vendors that were my friends for 30 years. I borrowed money from a friend in the business and was short out to him $56,000. I had owed rent to my landlord. And so it wasn't a very good picture. But I needed to reorganize because I believe in the product, I believe in myself, and I believe in my staff. And the clients believed in me and us because we lost one client. Vendors are still working with me. They get paid in 30 days, and we have had a very good relationship, and we've had a great run. The coronavirus cannot be the death of Brilliant Environmental Services, as much as it won't be the death of me. Need to find a way to make it through this, and I'm going to look at these stimulus packages, and I got to look at everything that's available to me, and everybody else should do that, because I am strictly a cash business. I have no credit line. I have no loans. I pay every bill that comes in the door with the money that comes in the door, and I save a little within the business. But I do a report every month to the trustee. They know every dime that I have, every dime that I spend, and exactly where it goes. So if there's an opportunity that the stimulus package can help me, as business is still good, but cash flow is slowing down. And you need to think about it as a small business owner, not today, 2 to 3 weeks from now. What is going to happen? And if you know, please call me at 732-818-3380, extension 110, because I need to know what you know. It's Sunday night. It's about 8:30. Time for me to go get a bottle and have a drink with friends. Have a great night. Good luck this week. Keep in touch with friends and family. I wish you all well. Bye-bye.